We got the election desk all fired up for you tonight. Good evening. Good to have you with us. I'm Doug Dunbar.
I'm Nicole Baker. We've got political reporter Jack Fink here, who's been watching everything you need to know about kicking off tonight's election night coverage.
Well, Nicole and Doug, the real headline tonight is all but one of the 14 statewide ballot propositions are on their way to passing tonight. Everything from property tax relief, helping retired teachers, and making sure the state has enough water and energy for our growing population. First, let's start with Prop 4, increasing the exemption for your school property taxes from $40,000 to $100,000. Right now, 84% saying yes, 16% voting against that. And now to Prop 9, providing a cost of living adjustment for retired teachers, their first in nearly 20 years. With 61% of the precincts reporting, 84% say yes, 16% are voting against it. And now to Prop 6, creating a state water fund to pay for water projects. 78% of voters saying yes, 22% of voters are voting against that. And now to Prop 7, creating a state energy fund. 66% for this, 34% are voting against it. And now to the ballot measure that appears to be going down in defeat, which is very unusual. Prop 13, raising the retirement age, the mandatory retirement age for state judges. 62% of voters said no, thank you. 38% voted for it so far. Voters also considered a number of school bond measures, and the largest one is in the fast-growing Prosper ISD. This is worth $2.8 billion, most of it for Prop A, building new schools and expanding and renovating existing campuses. 70% so far are saying yes, 30% voting against it. Next, Prop B, $140 million for school technology. 68% of voters saying yes, 32% voting against this. Now, Prop C, very interesting because this generated a lot of headlines, more than $102 million in all, but this includes $95 million to build a new district-wide stadium, the most expensive in Texas, and this has been tight all night, and this is down to about 70 or so votes, and 51% against, 49% for it, and that even went down to as tight as a one-vote difference. Who says every vote doesn't count? And then Prop D, $125 million to build a performing arts facility. This has been ahead all night, 60% for, 40% against. And now let's go to Aaron Jones, who's live in Prosper with how voters are feeling tonight. And I'm sure a lot of people there have been watching that stadium vote, Aaron.
They have, Jack, and we talked to a lot of voters here tonight, many of them Prosper ISD parents, just about how they felt about this bond in general, and it seemed overall opinions were mixed. Outside Prosper Town Hall, the line to vote wrapped around the building.
I wasn't expecting it to be this long, I will say that.
Well, I think it's great that this many people are showing up.
Like many Prosper residents, Cindy Warner wanted her voice heard on Prosper ISD's $2.8 billion bond measure. Most of the money going to Prop A, which would include building 10 new schools and modernizing 12 older schools. In part, Prop B would upgrade technology, Prop C would fund a $95 million new football stadium, and Prop D would put $125 million towards a new performing arts center. The money coming from an increase in taxable values of property within school district boundaries.
I think that we need to go back to the drawing board and do some due diligence and look at how we spend our money on the schools. We need more schools, but I think we need to do more due diligence on reducing the cost of the schools.
I think it's a great idea. We've lived here for over 15 years, and so we've been here to see the growth of the community and the student population and the parents, and it's very much needed in regards to keeping up with the influx of people.
And in the past, multiple district officials have told us that this bond is necessary to keep up with the massive growth that we've seen here in Prosper. So, Jack, there's no doubt that they're watching these results closely tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Aaron. Appreciate that. Now to one other school bond measure in the Louisville ISD. Prop B, this is for $960 million to fix up schools and school safety and security. 65% voting for this so far, 35% voting against it. Now over to Prop C. This is technology, about $70 million, 58% voting for this, 42% voting against this. Now, here's where it gets interesting in Prop D. This is for athletic facilities. 54% of voters voting against this so far, 46% voting for it. Similar story for Prop E, and this is for aquatic centers. 52% voting against, 48% voting for it. And then on to Prop F. This is for $20 million for improvements for existing stadiums. 52% voting against so far, 48% voting for it. And then on to Prop G. This is for $132 million for building indoor athletic facilities. 53% voting against this, 47% voting for it. Now we have a special House election for House District 2. This is to replace Representative Brian Slayton, who was expelled by the Texas House after an investigation earlier this year found he got drunk and had an intern and had sex with her. There are 6 candidates vying for this seat, and the top 3 candidates are on your screen: Brent Money, Jill Dutton, and Heath Hyde. It looks like it's going to go to a runoff election, and that's going to be held on Saturday, December 9th. Texas lawmakers convened today for the 4th special session. I'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jack, thanks for getting us up to speed.